What if ancient civilizations possessed astronomical knowledge that rivals our own? Imagine structures aligning perfectly with celestial events thousands of years before telescopes existed. This video will uncover the mind-boggling precision of their cosmic insights and how their ancient wisdom continues to echo in our modern understanding of the universe. Forget everything you think you know about ancient history. The narrative often paints a picture of primitive societies, struggling with the basics of survival, their understanding of the cosmos supposedly limited to simple myths and folklore. But what if that picture is fundamentally wrong? What if, scattered across the globe, lie the silent, stone-clad testaments to a forgotten science, an astronomical genius that extends far beyond what we've ever given them credit for? We are about to journey back in time, not to witness primitive rituals, but to decode a legacy of cosmic understanding so profound it challenges the very foundations of our historical timeline. The primitive societies of the past were, in fact, astronomical geniuses, their knowledge extending far beyond what we give them credit for. Join us as we prove how their incredible cosmic understanding wasn't just impressive for their time, but continues to mystify and inform breakthroughs in modern astronomy today. Across the windswept Salisbury Plain in England stands Stonehenge, a monument so iconic it has become synonymous with ancient mystery. For centuries, it was dismissed as a crude temple built by druids for barbaric sacrifices. But modern archaeoastronomy has peeled back layers of myth to reveal a sophisticated astronomical observatory. Its primary axis aligns with breathtaking precision to the sunrise on the summer solstice and the sunset on the winter solstice. This isn't a mere coincidence. It's a deliberate, monumental clockwork calendar built to mark the turning of the seasons, a critical function for any agricultural society. But the genius of Stonehenge goes deeper. Theories propose that its intricate arrangement of stones, particularly the 56 Aubrey holes circling the site, could have been used as a complex analog computer to predict lunar and solar eclipses. Imagine a Neolithic community, without written language or advanced mathematics as we know them, developing a system to forecast one of the most dramatic and terrifying celestial events. Thousands of miles away, under the scorching sun of the Egyptian desert, the Great Pyramid of Giza stands as another testament to this lost cosmic wisdom. While popularly known as a pharaoh's tomb, its astronomical alignments are so precise they defy belief. The four sides of the pyramid are aligned almost perfectly with the cardinal directions: north, south, east, and west, with an accuracy that modern architects would find challenging to replicate even with GPS and laser technology. How the ancient Egyptians achieved this feat remains a subject of intense debate, with leading theories suggesting the use of the sun's shadow on the equinoxes or the observation of circumpolar stars. Furthermore, the so-called air shafts within the pyramid were not for ventilation. Instead, they point directly towards specific stars that held immense significance in Egyptian cosmology. From the king's chamber, one shaft targeted the belt of Orion, representing the god Osiris, while another aimed at Thuban, which was the North Star at the time of the pyramid's construction. These shafts were cosmic conduits, designed to guide the pharaoh's soul to its rightful place among the immortal, circumpolar stars, the stars that never set. This architectural marvel was more than a tomb. It was a resurrection machine, a functional star map built on a colossal scale, demonstrating a seamless integration of engineering, religion, and a deeply sophisticated, three-dimensional understanding of the cosmos. This pattern of celestial alignment is not confined to the Old World. In the dense jungles of the Yucatan Peninsula, the Maya civilization built cities that were living calendars, their architecture a mirror of the heavens. At Chichen Itza, the Pyramid of El Castillo is a masterpiece of solar architecture. It has 365 steps, one for each day of the solar year. Twice annually, on the spring and autumn equinoxes, a remarkable phenomenon occurs. As the sun sets, the corner of the pyramid casts a series of triangular shadows onto the balustrade of the northern staircase, creating the illusion of a massive serpent, representing the deity Kukulkan, slithering down the pyramid. This was not a happy accident. It was a deliberate, awe-inspiring display of astronomical and engineering prowess, designed to signal the changing seasons to the entire populace. The Maya were also obsessed with the planet Venus, which they associated with warfare and ritual. Their Dresden Codex, one of the few surviving pre-Columbian books, contains incredibly accurate tables tracking the synodic period of Venus, allowing them to predict its appearances as the morning and evening star with an error of only a few hours over a span of 500 years. This required complex mathematical calculations, including the use of a sophisticated base 20 system and the concept of zero, long before it was widely used in Europe. The Maya didn't just observe the cosmos, they mathematized it, weaving its cycles into the very fabric of their society, from their architecture to their warfare. Even older and perhaps more enigmatic are the megalithic sites that predate many of these famous civilizations. Consider Newgrange in Ireland, a massive passage tomb constructed over 5,200 years ago, making it older than both Stonehenge and the Great Pyramid of Giza. This isn't just a mound of earth and stone, it's a precisely engineered time capsule. Above its entrance lies a small opening, a roof box, whose purpose remained a mystery for millennia. Then, it was discovered that for a few days around the winter solstice, the shortest day of the year, the rising sun shines through this roof box, sending a narrow beam of light that travels 19 meters down a long passage to illuminate the central chamber at the heart of the tomb. For 17 minutes, the dark interior is bathed in golden light, a stunning and deliberate theatrical event marking the rebirth of the sun and the promise of new life. This incredible feat of engineering required an exact understanding of the sun's path and a commitment to preserving that moment in a structure that has endured for over 5 millennia. Similarly, in the remote Nabta Playa of the southern Egyptian desert, predating even the pharaonic dynasties, lies what some call the world's oldest astronomical observatory. Here, nomadic cattle herders erected a small stone circle and other megalithic alignments around 7,000 years ago. One set of stones appears to mark the summer solstice sunrise, a crucial event in a region dependent on seasonal monsoon rains. More astonishingly, another alignment of larger stones seems to map the constellation of Orionus Belt as it would have appeared in the sky at that time. This suggests that even nomadic peoples, often considered to be in a constant struggle for survival, possess the intellectual curiosity and the observational skills to create celestial maps and calendars. They understood their survival was inextricably linked to the cosmos, and they sought to understand and harmonize with its rhythms. These discoveries force us to reconsider the timeline of scientific thought, pushing the dawn of astronomy back thousands of years and placing it in the hands of cultures we once deemed unsophisticated. The question then becomes, how did they do it? Without telescopes, without advanced computational tools, how did these ancient cultures achieve such mind-boggling precision? The answer lies in a combination of factors that our modern technology-saturated world has largely forgotten: pristine, unpolluted night skies, immense spans of time for observation, and a cultural imperative that saw the cosmos not as a distant object of study, but as a living, breathing entity intrinsically connected to life on Earth. They used the simplest of tools, sticks, strings, and water, to create flawless right angles and track the movement of shadows. They passed down knowledge not through textbooks, but through oral traditions, architectural blueprints, and societal rituals, ensuring that centuries of observational data were not lost. Their science was holistic, weaving together what we now separate into astronomy, religion, mathematics, and art into a single, unified worldview. This ancient wisdom is not just a historical curiosity, it holds a mirror up to our own time. In our quest for ever more powerful telescopes to peer into the farthest reaches of space, we have lost the intimate, naked-eye connection to the sky that our ancestors possessed. Their work reminds us that the universe can be understood through patience, dedication, and a deep sense of wonder. The legacy of these ancient skywatchers is written in stone and starlight, a silent invitation to look up and remember a time when humanity and the cosmos were in perfect dialogue. The evidence is overwhelming. From the plains of England to the deserts of Egypt and the jungles of Mexico, our ancestors were not primitive stargazers. They were the original astronomers, the architects of the cosmos, and their silent, stone observatories continue to stand as a profound and humbling testament to their forgotten genius. Have you ever gazed up at the night sky and felt a sense of wonder? A connection to something ancient and vast? Well, you're not alone. Thousands of years ago, long before the invention of telescopes or computers, our ancestors were doing the exact same thing. But they weren't just stargazing for fun. They were conducting sophisticated astronomical observations that are still blowing our minds today. From the pyramids of Giza, precisely aligned with the cardinal points, to the mysterious Stonehenge in England, which acts as a giant celestial calendar, ancient civilizations displayed an incredible understanding of the cosmos. How did they do it? Without the technology we rely on today, they used brilliant ingenuity, meticulous observation, and a deep, multi-generational connection to the rhythms of the heavens. Take the Maya, for example. In the heart of the Central American jungle, they developed one of the most complex calendar systems ever created. Their calculations of the solar year were astonishingly accurate, even more so than the calendar used in Europe at the time. They could predict solar and lunar eclipses with remarkable precision, events they believed were powerful celestial messages. They tracked the cycle of Venus so closely that it was woven into their architecture and mythology. This wasn't just abstract science, it was fundamental to their agriculture, their rituals, and their entire worldview. Now, Let's journey across the world to ancient Egypt. The Great Pyramid of Giza is an architectural marvel, but it's also an astronomical one. Its sides are aligned almost perfectly to north, south, east, and west. Certain shafts within the pyramid point directly towards specific stars, like those in the constellation Orion, which was associated with the god Osiris. For the Egyptians, the stars weren't just distant points of light, they were the eternal home of the gods and the destination for the pharaoh's soul. Their entire society was built around the cycles of the sun god Ra and the annual flooding of the Nile, an event heralded by the rising of the star Sirius. And it wasn't just these large empires. Around the globe, we find evidence of this celestial wisdom. In Chaca Canyon, New Mexico, the ancestral Puebloans created the sun dagger, a brilliant rock carving that uses shafts of light to mark the solstices and equinoxes with pinpoint accuracy. In Scotland, the Callanish stones, erected around 3000 BC, form a complex lunar observatory, tracking the 18.6-year cycle of the moon. So, how did they achieve this level of precision? It was a combination of patience, sharp eyes, and simple but effective tools. Using tools like gnomons, essentially sticks in the ground, they could track the sun's shadow to determine the time of day and the time of year. By aligning stones with horizon landmarks, they could mark the rising and setting points of the sun, moon, and stars throughout the seasons. This knowledge was passed down through generations, refined and perfected over centuries, becoming a sacred trust. This ancient astronomical knowledge wasn't just for practical purposes like farming. It was deeply spiritual. The cosmos was seen as a divine clockwork, a grand, living entity. The movements of the planets and stars were a source of meaning, prophecy, and connection to the universe. By understanding the sky, they understood their place within it. As we continue to decode these ancient sites and texts, we gain a deeper appreciation for the intelligence and ingenuity of our ancestors. They remind us that with curiosity and careful observation, humans are capable of extraordinary things. They looked at the same sky we do, but perhaps they saw it with a clarity and a sense of wonder that we are only just beginning to rediscover. Their legacy is written in stone and starlight, a timeless invitation for us to look up and wonder. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through time and space. If you found this as fascinating as I do, please hit that like button and subscribe for more adventures into the mysteries of our past. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What ancient marvel amazes you the most? Until next time, keep looking up.